Gingy Keytool. It's the number one thing you gotta get, gotta have it, need a Gingy Keytool. It's so good. Yes, start off with the Gingy Keytool. It gives you tremendous value as you're gonna need keys as soon as you start off the game to get you into quest rooms, as well as to get you into high value rooms that make you money at the start of the wipe, which is extremely high priority. You'll find one of these generally in a scav's pocket, so look out for that when you're first starting the wipe. What's going on YouTube? But this is me, Tickle Pink. My name is Cal. It's what everyone calls me. Today, I'm going to talk to you guys about what cases you should prioritize in Tarkov, because all of these are going to take money, and properly investing them in the right order is going to make your wipe so much easier. This is a direct follow-up to my ultimate wipe guide and how I tackle the wipe as a 10,000 hour player. So if you haven't seen that, I'll have that in the top right now. Make sure you watch that first, and I'll see you back here in a second. Additionally, these are all in chronological order of importance, so whenever you get tired of hearing me yapping or you think this isn't valuable anymore, you can go ahead and click off. But for those of you guys that make it to the end of the video, I have a bonus tip that I've never heard mentioned on YouTube, so look out for that. And for the rest of you little fuckers, make sure to smash that dislike button and tell me to kill myself in the comments down below. Now that we're done with my terrible intro, let's talk about the containers that you need to prioritize before you unlock the flea market. The next item you need to get into is the wallet. Once again, this is going to spawn in scav pockets. This is going to be your only way of organizing money early on. It's not super important, but it'll make your life a little bit easier. After that, we want to get ourselves a lucky scav junk box. Now, the lucky scav junk box can be purchased for about 1.2 million rubles at level 1 therapist, and I would suggest you get one as soon as possible. If you have the blue version of the game, you're a blue skin, you already start out with one, so you can utilize that money elsewhere. But this is tremendously important. This is going to help you keep all those found and raid items that you need to turn in for quests that we talked about in the getting ahead video. It's going to let you go ahead and put those in a nice spot where you can easily hand them in, and you know you already have them. You can easily keep track of them versus having them all over your stash and in various different rigs. Get your hands on this as soon as possible. Also, there's a barter for lucky scav junk boxes, which requires a total of 40 dog tags, bear or USEC. They just have to be above level 15. So around day 2, day 3, you're gonna be killing people over level 15. Make sure you start saving those tags and continuing to accrue lucky scav junk boxes. You can also utilize this just to keep sellable items inside of it, maybe potential high value items that are gonna go up later on. And we'll talk about some of those items in the barters later on. All right, once you've gotten your hands on a lucky scav junk box, you're gonna want to get a documents case. So the documents case is actually available from therapist level 2, which will likely be your first level 2 trader, and you'll see on screen it requires 1 cat figurine, 1 bronze lion figurine, and 4 horse figurines, and that will get you a documents case. Now, I'll have in the top right a great early money making strat is you can go ahead and buy a lot of the safe keys on customs, or really any map that you enjoy hitting safes on, and sell all these items for a tremendous amount of money while also targeting those flash drives you're gonna need that are gonna get you hung up early on. So it's great just to make a little bit of money while getting that out of the way. This should easily net you a free docs case, especially if you're already like a gamma container player. You'll be able to actually stuff an entire bronze lion in your container or cat figurine, and so even if you die, you're working towards that documents case. If you're on a standard edition of the game, don't worry, I have ideas for you. They'll be coming up here shortly, but this documents case is just gonna help you out tremendously. You're gonna be able to replace that Gingy key bar when you're in the position of needing more keys for quests, particularly when you get to somewhere like Shoreline, or maybe you want to have a lot of customs keys. We mentioned going ahead and having all those safe keys and maybe being able to do quests at the same time will be tremendously valuable to you. It also has the added bonus of just being able to be utilized as a large wallet. This is effectively going to be what you're utilizing as a money case for the early to mid game. Otherwise, you're just going to have rows and rows of rubles in your stash. And it is an added bonus while we're actually farming those flash drives. If you get all these items before you get your flash drives, you can even put the flash drives in this documents case, as well as intelligence folders, SSDs, things like that, and loose money. So get your hands on one of these very fast. The other item we're going to talk about is the Keytool. So there's a barter for the Keytool, and this one fluctuates in price quite a lot. I'll have the exact barter on screen right now. Generally at the start of the wipe, this is about 3 times the price of a documents case. That's because it's just a 1x1, right? Which is extremely valuable if you have an alpha container. So if you have a little bit more cash, I would go ahead and look at the value of that actual barter, or maybe prioritize these items. Like a lot of these are medical items. Prioritize them while maybe you're on woods, going and getting those saluas, going and getting those food items. Grab these and plan on getting yourself a key bar if you're on that beta container or that alpha container, as it being a 1x1 will save you a tremendous amount of space in that secure container, which which is going to keep you alive. But you're probably likely to want to get a key bar later on, and we'll talk about that later in this video. The last item you need to prioritize even before you unlock the flea market are ammunition cases. Ammunition cases are really important because as soon as you can get your hands on the most meta ammunition at any given point for weapons you like, you're going to want to stock up on that. Is buying it from traders is significantly cheaper than it is from players, and there's also flea market restrictions when it comes to this high tier ammunition you might not even be able to purchase on the flea market. So watch out for that. Make sure you're stocking up on those ammunition cases, and the barter really is not too bad. It's just 2 green gunpowders and 2 thermites. Thermites early on will probably go for around 100k, but this isn't bad. The only caveat is you need to make sure you've done Gunsmith Part 5, but make sure you prioritize these as they're just free experience. A lot of players fall behind on these, and there's actually time gating on the Gunsmith quests now. So do them as soon as you can. You'll be able to buy the attachments for the Gunsmith weapons on the flea market as well, and I'll have a full video coming out on the most efficient ways to make the Gunsmith weapons cheap and easy for you guys. So subscribe for that. But that wraps up the pre-flea market section. Let's hop into the flea market section. All right, the first thing you really need to prioritize buying with your own money once you're level 15 and have access to that flea market is the Injector's Case. I know early on you may have like a Grizzly kit inside of your container, you may have like a key bar inside of your container, a Doc's case, maybe some ammunition, and each one of those slots is extremely valuable to you at a low level. But the Injector's Case is hands down the best case you can buy in terms of making sure you survive raids. Do you need to stop bleeds immediately? You have an injector for that. Do you need to lug out 100 kilos of loot from the best raid you've had all week? There is an injector for that. Do you need just a quick stim that acts as a morphine, heals you and gives you recoil reduction? There is an injector for that. The Injector Case is by far the best case pickup you're ever going to get in Escape from Tarkov, and you need to prioritize this. However, it doesn't do anything for you if you don't have the knowledge of how the injectors can help you. A lot of people don't know this, but there is literally berserker mode in Tarkov. That means you drop to 1 HP, you don't die, you get health regeneration, insane movement speed, and you get melee damage. Now the melee damage maybe not that valuable, but a lot of people don't even know it exists. And I cover every injector in the game and how to properly utilize them in PvP scenarios in this video in the top right. So watch that and you will get immense value out of that Injector's Case. The next pickup that you have to get if you just don't Escape from Tarkov and none of the additions above it is the beta container. Now on screen right now we're actually gonna have the barter for the beta container, but that military tank battery is extremely expensive early on in wipes because people need it to go ahead and craft down to car batteries for your car needs a service quest. That was a little bit of a mouthful, but that will be around 1,000,000 rubles. So expect to pay around 1.5 million rubles for this container early on. But if you're on an alpha container, this is some of the best money you can get, and I would prioritize it over an Injector's Case. After that, what I want you to get is a med bag. A lot of people don't know about this backpack. I'll have it on screen right now. I also have some screenshots of what the interior looks like versus how big the exterior looks like. So a lot of you are going to be very familiar with medicine cases, but they are rather expensive. Usually you can get this backpack for around 100,000 rubles, where a med case barter is probably going to cost you about 1,000,000 rubles early on into a wipe. If you get it a couple weeks later, you should probably get it for significantly less. At almost every single stage in the wipe, this will be a better bang for your buck. And a lot of times I'll run these until the 40s, 50s, even sometimes level 60. I still have one of these medicine bags on my character, and I think I'm level 70 something right now. I could be mistaken, but these are very good bang for your buck. It's just shy of a meds case. Make sure you utilize these. Buy one off the flea market as soon as you can. Now let's talk about the Dogtag Case. Now you can easily buy these off the flea market as people are going to pull them out of the various different marked rooms. But I did want to add a caveat that for those of you that are very well versed on reserve or lighthouse and you know where military tech spawns are, you can actually get one of these with just Jaeger level 1 by finding a military flash drive and a VHS tape. And these are extremely valuable because dog tags have a plethora of uses in Escape from Tarkov. For example, we talked about earlier how you can get free scav junk boxes. You can also do all sorts of different barters for weapons, night vision goggles, etc, etc. Outside of that, you have a lot of quests that dog tags are required for. And behind that, you'll also have the trophy hall where you can get more combat experience and actually level things like your reload speed or your various weapon archetype skills just by securing those dog tags. So make sure you grab one of these dog tag cases, and they're generally pretty cheap. At about every stage of the wipe, they're just around 300,000 rubles because that's what they sell the therapists for. Now, this next one, there's a big caveat, the money case. So there is the potential that we're going to be able to buy money cases from players early on. The only place it comes from is therapist level 4. So you're going to see dorks like me that haven't seen the fucking burning orb in the sky for a week selling these on the flea market. However, they could be locked. So just look out for these. Otherwise, you're stuck with using the wallet tech or the Dogtag Case tech, but they are obviously the best way to store wealth and escape from Tarkov. And I just wanted to add another little caveat here is that around this time period, I want you guys to continue to collect scav junk boxes, having one for your quest items and your sell items. That will make a world of difference for you. I also think you should focus on getting another key bar or a Dogtag Case depending on various maps. I like to have one for every single map, all the keys I need for each map, so I'm not constantly pulling things in and out, in and out, in and out. It'll save you a lot of time, and your time is extremely valuable. I don't know about you guys, but we only have so much time on this earth, and I would rather spend it complaining online versus sorting keys in Escape from Tarkov. And the last item you should continue to buy as you need more of are ammunition cases, and just continue to stockpile that high tier ammunition for whatever caliber you're enjoying. It's best to have like 2 or 3 different weapon builds that you really like. And if you haven't seen, I have various videos of the best level 2, level 3, and level 4 trader weapons. I'll have probably the level 2 one linked on screen right now. In this section, I also want to mention this is not a container, but the Red Rebel could provide a lot of value out of you. If you're a Lighthouse player or you're a reserve player, it could be really wise to invest in a Red Rebel early on. They should be available on the flea market as they do drop from those big green containers in game, as well as Sturman and Sturman Stash. So you should be able to just go ahead and buy them on flea. However, they're generally more expensive just to buy straight out from the flea than utilizing this barter on screen from Jaeger level 3. So watch out for that. Once again, it's not a case. You might want to invest in it if you enjoy those maps. If you don't, you might just end up in a stank rat montage going to D2 on reserve. Let's talk about what you're going to want to get later on into the wipe. So we're going to start this one with a bang, and you're not going to get it really in the order of the rest of these. However, I think a lot of you guys should prioritize this, and that is the THICC items case. However, you're going to get one for free by just going ahead and handing in a LEDX. There are some other stipulations to this quest, but that is really the big part you need to hand in: found and raid LEDX. And this THICC case is invaluable to you, is you're really going to utilize it to organize your stash way better than all of your friends, and this will be a pivotal part of my most efficient stash video. So I'll have a picture on screen right now of what the inside of my THICC items case looks like, but it's literally just filled with all these cases that we've talked about previously. You see all my ammunition cases from different calibers. You see all my different key bars, Dogtag Case, THICC cases, key cards for various different maps, my Red Rebel, my Paracord, my different medicine cases, etc. You will utilize all of these things if you play beyond level 40. So make sure you prioritize this. I think every player should focus on this in a wipe, regardless of your skill level or how much knowledge you have of the game. Up next are weapon cases. So these are good to get early on because they save you a tremendous amount of time. What you're going to want to go ahead and do is just have weapons that you like to use that are good, at least by your standards, with no pistol grip on them, no magazine in them. You can easily pull out, fix those 2 components, and get into a raid with your friends. They will save you so much time, and you can build weapons you like maybe 3 to 5 times and just have them ready to go in that container. The next item is a grenades case. It's great to just be able to pop this open, buy grenades just like how you buy ammunition. However, it has been devalued quite a bit just due to the fact that grenades will be able to be bought now from the flea market, and they no longer need to be found in raid. This means players are going to be selling other players grenades quite consistently early on in the wipe, and they won't have a high value that they normally do. The next case you want to get late into the game is the Mr. Holodilnick. This is just like the lunch cooler, or you can go ahead and look at the barter on screen for this and just keep sellable food items in there. Food actually sells for a lot more than people realize. On interchange, for example, there's one section at the grocery store that spawns a tremendous amount of food, a lot of them being the barter items you actually utilize for this cooler. And often through a wipe, each one of those items is a 1x1 that sells for around 50,000 rubles. It may not be a LEDX or a graphics card, and it doesn't feel quite as good to get. However, for each 1x1 being around 35 to 50k, it's hard to go wrong, and you can make a lot of money. So look out for that. Up next is the magazine case. Once again, with the grenade case, this has lost a lot of value, as now nothing gets sold out. You have your own personal limits. There's no longer global limits, and additionally, magazines can just be sold on the flea market. So this doesn't have a tremendous amount of value. It's just once again going to save you a little bit of time. After that, we have the THICC case. Basically, all you need to know about this is it's very much like a Dogtag Case. You can put just about everything you put into a Dogtag Case into a THICC case. Just think you're going to be able to put more gold items into the THICC case and less intel based items into the THICC case, and it's much bigger. So for those of you like maybe Streets of Tarkov or Shoreline maps with a lot of keys, you're going to get a lot of value out of this THICC case, as it has more spots than a key bar or a documents case. supplies. So keep that in mind. It is rather expensive though. You do get one from completing the quest where you have to go ahead and kill the goons, but other than that, it does not spawn anywhere in the game. So it will go for quite a lot, and you're going to want to utilize the barter on screen. After that, grab yourself some item cases. Item cases are great for storing helmets and armor. Other than that, it's really the best thing you can put inside of them. And then we'll move on to thick weapons cases. Once again, just like the thick items case, you'll actually get one of these for free by just going ahead and getting every single trader to elite level. I would recommend you go ahead and get 2 of them. And there are some really great barters on screen. I personally like the electrical motor one, where I'll go ahead and utilize getting 2 weapons cases from this barter, and then I turn the 2 weapons cases and the ammunition cases into Jaeger for the thick weapons case barter. Often I'll run maybe 1, maybe 2 thick weapons cases just filled with various weapons for the maps I like to run and the calibers I like to run, and then I'll buy a 3rd one just to keep attachments in. However, you got to keep in mind that I play this game far more than anyone else. I'm always streaming this game like 8 to 10 hours a day. I am terminally online, so you might be well off with just a single thick weapons case. After that, you might want to grab yourself a keycard holder, and this is only if you like to play labs. It just sorts those key cards that you have. If you don't like to play labs, don't worry about it. However, I would recommend you get out of your comfort zone and just try if you're looking for a new challenge in Escape from Tarkov. After that, we have the pistol case. I would strongly recommend no one buy this. It's extremely niche, and the value of it is actually quite high as it's utilized in a weapons case barter generally, so avoid this. The last case I want to talk about is the Epsilon case, and this is what you actually get for completing Punisher series. And of course, if you're a standard edition haver, then this is going to be the best case you can have until Kappa. However, I just want to remind you guys, if you do have a gamma container, to keep this around is you're going to need to turn it in at a quest later on. Sorry for the pigeon that just flew over my head. I have outside things inside, but you are going to need to turn this in later on if you do want to go for that Kappa container. And I have a quest up in the top, and I have a video up in the top right now on why you will never get Kappa container. And that's right, you heard it right. Go watch it and I'll explain my stance. But thank you guys for making it to the end of the video. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. If you want to see any videos in particular, let me know in the comments down below. I read every single one. For your bonus tip, there's one like case you could think of left in the game, and that is the trophy room. So you actually go ahead and put dog tags on it from enemy factions that you've killed, and it levels your combat stance. You can also put valuable items on it that otherwise really wouldn't have a spot in any other case in the game. Now, this can be really nice if you want to go for Kappa container and you know all those different valuable items you need to go ahead and collect to turn in for the collector quest, or you can just sort an arrangement of valuable items onto these shelves you can turn in for your daily quests later on. It won't be weighing down your stash. I've actually done a full video on all the quests you absolutely should not do in Escape from Tarkov, is they're dead-end tasks that lead to nowhere and won't get you any experience or progress your character, and I'll have that in the top right now. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys, but it's more of a niche end game thing. Anyways, guys, I look forward to seeing you guys all on the live stream and in the Discord server, and hopefully this video was helpful to you.